Here's an overview of the wireless SailTimer wind vane and how to set it up and use it with the SailTimer app on an iPad. The wind vane up at the masthead sends a radio signal to this blue box called the base unit, which you can turn on when you get to the boat. It runs on 2 AA batteries. The next thing you're going to want to do is go to the iPad, into the settings for the iPad, and select the network for the wind vane, which you can see show up there once we've turned on the blue box. Then we can go back to the app, select Input, and then select Use Data from Wind Vane. Just tap anywhere on the screen to make that panel disappear, and then in a second the Wi-Fi connection will be obtained and you'll start to see some tacking results. And you can enlarge the wind speedometer at the bottom of the screen by tapping on it so that you can get a better view of the wind speed and wind direction. We think this display is pretty unique because the wind is shown on the speedometer in the center of the screen, but then around the outside is the wind direction, which is shown with a small orange arrow. Tap anywhere on the screen to go back to the small display of the wind speedometer. And then you can also move the chart around or zoom in and out by dragging or pinching. Setting the optimal tacks is really easy. You go to the Input button at the bottom left. There's a wind panel there, and the center panel is bearing. And you want to go to a waypoint, so select the arrow at the top of the screen and you can see a list of waypoints. Choose a waypoint and then press Optimal Route. Then you'll see the tacking information show up on screen with the green lines for the optimal tacks and TTD at the bottom of the screen for your tacking time to destination, and the total tacking distance, which is 1.2 nautical miles in this case. One of the nice things about the SailTimer wind vane is that it provides real-time wind information. So if the wind swings around, you'll see the optimal tacks changing on screen. They'll also change if the boat changes direction relative to the wind, and you'll also see them changing as the boat's location changes. So as you can see, it's really quick and easy to use the wind vane with the SailTimer app to display your optimal tacks. You can't see optimal tacks and TTD on any traditional chart plotter. And there are no wires to run down the mast with the SailTimer wind vane.